This is Inside Out.
Inside Out is presented by HTC. This is life. Connect with it. And Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food where Mama eats. Along with the McGuire Law Firm. Be kind today and tomorrow.
'Tis the season, friends, and welcome to December's Inside Out, where every segment has a holiday flair. We're going to go from ice skating to a horse, yes, with jingle bells. But right now, we're here at the Art Museum, and we've got some great music for you, compliments of a group who used to be known as Jazz Etc., now Tamir and Company. Get ready for some holiday jazz. Tamir, that was beautiful. Tell me about that song.
This was a song called Christmas Time in New Orleans, which was really a nice recording by Louis Armstrong, which is one of my favorites.
I felt the snow falling, etc. It was great. Yes. Tell me about your partner here in crime.
Well, as you know, Diane, we were informally known as Jazz Etc. And the passing of my friend Herbert Rowley, and but William Gerald, who is actually from Aynor up the street there. He came and filled in and didn't miss a step, you know.
He's wonderful, and we do miss Herb, absolutely. Yeah. But it's wonderful when I see you play around town, because sometimes you're a twosome, but other times you're a tensome.
Yeah, we of course today we are a twosome, but we have the group called Cousins that we pick up too. Yeah, so yeah.
So I know that you play all over town for parties, etc., but you also have a regular gig.
We do. We're at the Giant Crab Restaurant, which is beginning of Restaurant Row. And this is our 20th year there.
Tell me about your new hot off the press CD.
Now this is our CD, as you have a copy, and I have a copy. It's called A Lovely Day, and we have some lovely selections on there also.
So where is it on sale?
Well, it's on our website, of course, and you can get it at the restaurant also. And of course, if you catch one of us, we were always riding around with a bunch of them in our car also.
Of course, sell them out of the trunk of your car.
Absolutely.
And they're great stocking stuffers.
Absolutely.
And wrapping up, what's the next song you're going to do for us?
We're going to do a classic called The Christmas Song.
We are ready. Here's Tamir and Company. Horsing around for Christmas, that's what's up next on Inside Out.
As fellow community members, HTC knows the precious value of family time spent together. That's why HTC delivers faster speeds, 24/7 local tech support, and free Wi-Fi. No matter where the day takes me, HTC serves up the world-class high-speed internet you need to stay connected to your world. Because you are here, and so are we.
High-speed internet starting at 300 megabits per second and up to 1 gig for as low as $49.95.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
Help for Kids and Backpack Buddies need our support more than ever before. They are feeding hundreds of families throughout our community during this difficult time, not just kids. And so if you can make a donation or prefer to drop off some food items, they will be forever grateful. This is an all-volunteer organization, one of the best in our area. Please help them to help our neighbors. Help for Kids and Backpack Buddies, 2523 Forest Brook Road in Myrtle Beach.
This segment of Inside Out is brought to you by Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, where Mama eats.
So as far as I know, there weren't any horses at the nativity scene, but since I didn't find cows or sheep or anything like that to feature today on the show, I did find an outstanding horse farm in Aynor. I want you to meet Gretchen Millwood, and we have some beautiful horses here to show you. And what kind of horses are they anyway?
These are gypsy horses.
Tell me more about the gypsy horse. They're beautiful. They remind me of Clydesdales.
Yeah, they come from Europe and they were used to pull the gypsy caravans. They are in Ireland and England, and they would pull the wagons and the families, and they're a little draft horse.
But I heard you grew up on a llama farm. So how did you make this transition?
I think just animals of any kind. I've always had to have them near me. And I grew up with some horses too, but started loving draft horses when I was growing up. And there was one of the biggest gypsy farms just about an hour from my home in Colorado. And so at the time I was just a teenager and in love with horses. And we went up there for a day and got to see them up close, some of the very first ones being imported from Europe. And the dream just started right there. They were gorgeous. And I said, one day I want to have some that look like that.
Well, I want to talk to you a little bit about your past, because not only did you grow up on a llama farm in Colorado, you just said, but then you came to coastal Carolina to play soccer. And so you always thought you were going to move somewhere else. Why did you stay, even though we're glad you did?
Right. Well, we hadn't intended to stay, but I met a boy at college, and so we finished up school and started planting roots here. We found a church, and I started working as a second grade teacher, and then he found a job, and before you know it, 20 years went by, and here we are, and this is home.
God had a plan.
Yes, he did.
Now, before we talk about the specific horses, the name ChatterHouse Farm, that's where we are. And I love that name, but there must be a story.
There is a story. The ChatterHouse is pretty much where we call wherever our children are. We've got 3 daughters. They're 14, 12, and 10, Lydia, Marley, and Charlotte. And wherever they are is chatter, 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 and there's always something to talk about on a farm. So the little old white farmhouse that we occupy together when we all come together at the end of the day is full of chatter.
I love that. Tell me about Blue.
Blue is our stallion, and he's a big blue roan, and he's the father of several of the horses on our farm, and he has just started being available to other farms around the country, and he's going to have a baby in New York and in California and in Clemson. He's got a few around the country. So
Did he have to trot around to do that?
He didn't. He traveled to a facility in North Carolina that collected him.
Wow, that's the way it works,
yes.
Huh? How long does it take for one of these horses to be born?
11 and a half months is their gestation, so they grow for a very long time.
What do you plan to do down the road with these horses, or are they just going to be here for the family to enjoy?
Well, that's what they start as, is most of all, we just enjoy them. We like to do a little bit of showing, a little bit of riding, and we're about to get into a little bit of driving. We've been working with Blue on being able to pull a cart. And the breeding too is a big part of what we do. We've had 2 babies here so far, and we've got some more mares that we're hoping to breed in the future and just make a small little family breeding operation.
So I see your husband Nathan over there working with Blue. Tell me more about Blue as far as
Is he an award-winning horse so far?
Well, he's our stallion, and he comes from a well-established farm, SD Farm in England, and they've got a lot of wonderful horses, and so we're very proud to own an SD horse. So he adds a lot of quality to our breeding program here, and he's kind of a rare color. There's not very many blue roans in the country, and he's one of the biggest that I know of. He's 15.1 hands, and so he's a big guy. He's got great conformation, great hair, great personality, so we hope that he's going to sire a lot of wonderful babies in the future.
How about some of the horses that have just appeared behind you?
Those are our girls. Those are the ladies, the mamas. The brown and white one is pregnant. She's going to have a foal the end of March. And the others are ladies in waiting. They're little, they're growing up, and they'll be future mamas of ChatterHouse Farm.
Now, tell me about this group over here.
And those little boys just came in. We've had them about a week. They were rescued from a farm not too far away from here, but they were an unfortunate neglect case. But we've taken them in and we're socializing them. They haven't been handled. They're not very good about being touched yet, but we're putting weight on them. We're handling them, making them friendly. We want to be able to get it so that they can go into new families, so they can be ridden and worked with and touched and just be great family horses.
But it must be hard to part with them. I heard you just lost one to Kentucky.
Yes, we did. We sold our first horse, and she was a baby of ours out of the brown and white mama and out of blue. But she found a fantastic home in Kentucky where she's going to live on a pumpkin farm.
Oh, how great. Yeah. But I bet your girls were very sad.
Yes, they were. It was sad to see her go. We were all very attached to her. Her name was Jubilee, but we got to keep last year's baby, our very first baby ever. And so she's now an up-and-coming mama for the future.
What do you plan to do ultimately with the farm? Do you have goals that maybe a 5-year goal?
I think we would just like to see some high quality babies coming out. That's probably my favorite thing to do, is I love mixing and matching the mamas and their pedigrees and their conformation to try to make a high quality baby that'll be desirable to somebody that wants to show and ride, and a good family horse, just an all around good horse for somebody. And of course a little bit of showing, and the girls love to do, lots with them.
Will the girls be riding at all in the future?
A little bit. They'd like to. All of our gypsies are young, and so they're just coming into age where they can be ridden and used for some other things. So the girls ride our other 2 horses now, but as these get old enough and we put some training into them, they'd love to be riding them too.
Now, I think it's really neat, with this being the Christmas season, that you have written a book that's going to be available for Christmas present giving.
Yes, I've written a children's picture book. It's called The Gypsy Treasure, and it has to do with a little girl that hears that the gypsies have treasure, and some of them come into their town one day, and she's looking around to try to find what their treasure could be. And she figures it out by the end.
And you've done the artwork, which is amazing. Not only did you write the book, but you've illustrated it beautifully.
Thank you. I did. I drew the pictures and wrote the story. I wrote it about 15 years ago, hoping to turn it into a children's book while I was teaching school. But I started having children, and time just got away from me. But the time was right now, and we're getting it finished up.
Never too late. And so this book is going to be available all this month and from here on out on Amazon.
On Amazon, or you can find it on our Facebook page or on our website, links to be able to purchase it.
So Gretchen, other than the horses, what other farm animals do you have out here?
We've got chickens, we have a few goats, we have a German Shepherd named Porter, and we have a few cats, and mostly the horses.
And beehives.
And that's right, we are beekeepers as well. I'm a 3rd generation beekeeper. My grandpa and my dad kept bees, and now we have bees too, and that's mostly Nate's thing. Oh, I like the honey. I don't so much like the bees.
So Nathan handles that.
Yes, he
does. Good. So tell me what we're seeing here with the horses running. What's that all about?
It's just beautiful watching them move.
It is.
I love how they pick up their feet, and all their hair just kind of goes in all directions. This is Lily.
Hi, Lily. How are you? You wanted to be on TV. I know everybody's a ham, especially at Christmas. But the running is beautiful, and look at the way the hair just flies.
Yeah, and they pick their feet up. That's why they make a nice carriage horses. They've got a good lift and action to their feet. It's fun to watch them move.
And they're not related to Clydesdales at all?
Well, they're a draft horse like a Clydesdale. They're just quite a bit smaller than a Shire or a Clydesdale.
And finally, we've got a Christmas horse already. You've done Blue up for the holidays.
Yep, I put him in his driving harness and we've got on his Christmas bells.
Oh, he needs to be in the Aynor Christmas parade.
Yes, I know. I don't think they let horses in the parade anymore, but we would have loved to have done that.
Come on, Aynor. That's a good idea for next year anyway. Gretchen, I wish you so much luck. Thank you for sharing your beautiful farm with us. It is just awesome.
Thank you so much.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Merry
and God
Christmas
bless your
to you
family.
too. Thank you.
All volunteer, all giving, all about love. Coming up, it's Associated Charities. Proper serving, proper distancing. We're into safety at Magnolia's. Our staff now plate your food with all your favorite choices from the buffet, salad bar, and dessert bar, and it's still all you can eat. There's also breakfast, evening, and an expanded Sunday buffet. Mama says she can't cook it that cheap. Plus, the kids will love the yummy ice cream machine. Named Small Business of the Year by the Chamber of Commerce. Magnolia's, it's where Mama eats.
Backed by popular demand, the Long Bay Symphony presents Strauss on the Strand. Ring in the new year in classic Viennese tradition. All the great music from the Johann Strauss family, featuring waltzes and polkas, with graceful dancers performing in the traditional Austrian style. Tickets are $25 and will sell out, so call now or go online at longbaysymphony.com. Strauss on the Strand, 2:30 on December 31st at the new First Presbyterian Church in Myrtle Beach.
You may remember last month when we did the interview about Winter Wonderland with the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce and the City of Myrtle Beach. They're sponsoring this. It's ice skating down at the old Pavilion location. And guess what? You can even rent some skates. So what do you say? Let's go skating through January 2nd.
This segment of HTC Inside Out is presented by the McGuire Law Firm. Be kind today and tomorrow.
There are so many wonderful nonprofit organizations in our community, but this one is surely outstanding, as you're getting ready to hear. I want you to meet Cindy Dawsey, and she heads up Associated Charities out of Myrtle Beach, and you guys have been around a long time.
Yes, we opened in 1952, getting ready to celebrate our 70th anniversary.
Wow,
Yep.
that is a long time, but you haven't been here anywhere near that long.
No,
However,
thank you.
You were teaching for a long time. And what brought you from teaching to Associated Charities?
I would probably still be teaching today, but both of my parents became ill and I needed to be their caregiver. And when that was over, I was just kind of lost, didn't know what I was going to do with myself. And I just happened to stumble upon Associated Charities and began volunteering and just absolutely fell in love with the place. Just the work they were doing here and the fact that everyone here is a volunteer. There are no salaries. It's just like a little family. Everybody gets along well, and I just love what they were doing for the community and just wanted to be a part of that.
Well, you've done an outstanding job since being the executive director since March, and I've been donating things here for a long, long time. You have really cleaned up the place. I mean, it's beautiful in here. It looks like a general store.
Thank you. Yeah, we've made quite a few improvements. It was just my philosophy when I took over that even though you're impoverished or maybe homeless, you still need somewhere nice and clean and bright and vibrant, somewhere where you feel comfortable to come. And I think we're working towards that.
Sum up the place. Tell us who comes here, how we can help the impoverished, homeless, and even indigent folks in our community.
Well, we accept donations of clothing, costume, jewelry, shoes, coats, hats, gloves, just about everything you can think of, with the exception of furniture and large exercise equipment. And we're trying not to take any used toys right now. We simply are running out of storage space. We sort those donations, go through them, make sure everything is in good working condition and clean. And then those items are hung up. And on Tuesday, we have what we call giveaway day. And if you fall below the poverty guidelines as established by the federal government, or you're homeless or in some type of emergency situation, you can actually come here and shop for free from 9 to 12. And when I say shop for free, you can get clothing items, you can get linens, you can get houseware items, items for your kitchen. If you need an iron, and we have an iron, we'll give you an iron. I like to say if we have it, we give it. We don't hoard up stuff. If we have it, we will be more than happy to give it to you. And that happens on Tuesday.
And yet, there are days that people can come to that adorable little boutique.
Right. And on Thursday, for those people that might not meet the guidelines for federal poverty or might not meet other guidelines, they are welcome to come on Thursday, and we have a $5 bag sale. They can fill up a large 10-gallon trash bag with any of our clothing, shoes, coats, hats, gloves, undergarments, anything they need for $5. Quite a bargain. Beautiful clothing back there, and everything is sized, everything is organized, very clean. And then we also have what we call Phil's Flea in our lobby, and that's just we put our houseware items and some decorative items. So if you're fixing up your apartment, as you can see in the back, we have these beautiful pillows. They'll be available, and they're just at amazing prices. And then we have the boutique, as you mentioned, in the back, and that's purses, jewelry, and beauty products at remarkable prices.
Absolutely, and adorable too.
It's really good. It's been a really good thing.
I love what you're doing too, Cindy, with other nonprofits. You have really worked hard to realize you're not an island, you don't stand alone,
Right.
You're going to work with all the other nonprofits in town.
Yes, we do. We work really closely with the ECHO. We work really closely with Meals on Wheels, really closely with Street Reach, New Directions. And if they have a need, they call us. If we have a need, we call them. And it's just like a revolving door. They're in here, I'm over there, and we're swapping items back and forth, doing all we can to work together to make sure that people have what they need.
What do you need as far as community support? I mean, obviously you could use some donations. I mean, everyone
Absolutely.
here is working for free. No one's looking for a salary, but when you did the repair, somebody had to pay for it.
Absolutely. The main items we need now are I provide a book bag for the homeless, and in that book bag I put a plastic tablecloth, and I usually just the little dollar ones that come from the dollar store that they can use as a tarp or they can use it as a covering for the ground. I put lip balm in there. I put bug spray. Those items like that, we need. It seems like we run out of those. We stuff the book bag and we present that book bag to them like that. We also, I discovered that there's a huge problem with the impoverished and a lot of the homeless with their eyesight. And I discovered when I was cleaning out, when I took over a large bag of glasses and took those home, cleaned the glasses up and just started putting out 10 pairs of glasses. And it was just unbelievable. That first week, an older gentleman said, I heard him say, I can see again. Oh. And so my eye doctor, Dr. Jared Poston, so graciously gave me 2 cases of new eyeglasses cases. So they can get a pair of glasses and an eyeglass case for those, and sunglasses. So if you have any sunglasses or the little reader glasses from the Dollar Tree, just little things like that. The clothing donations, of course, clothing, shoes, men's jeans are always needed. Men's tennis shoes are always needed. But right now we're really looking for book bags, the adult size book bags, not so much the children's because they need to pack them. But that's our number one item that the homeless ask for is the book bags.
So how can people donate, Cindy?
We are located off of 8th Avenue North and Lumber Street at 742. We have a donations drop-off bin for after hours. If you don't want to use that, you can pull up at the garage door at the end of our building, honk your horn, and a volunteer will come out and get your items out of your car for you. And that happens from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, Monday through Friday.
And speaking of volunteers, we're going to meet one of their outstanding volunteers right now. This is Philip Armstrong. So Philip, you too, just like Cindy, are a former school teacher. Tell me about all the places you've worked.
I've started out at Daisy Elementary, then I went to Myrtle Beach High School, and I ended my career at St. James High School after 33 years, Horry County Schools.
And I heard that you started out here as a volunteer 1 day a week and fell in love with the place or all the other volunteers?
Both. It's a unique ministry. I've seen Cindy wash people's feet and just really give. All the ladies here and all the volunteers just give from their heart. They give out of their pocketbook. They give their time. It's just a way to give back to our community. And there's a great need here.
6 days a week you're here. So this is like a full-time job, but you love volunteering and y'all have become a family.
It's like a family here, yes, ma'am. We honor each other's birthdays. Cindy's birthday's today, and then we just, like a family, we were honoring the veterans this month. Every Tuesday we're giving a little Cersei's to the veterans and just honoring our veterans. And the community's been real good about giving back to us.
And we need more volunteers, not just women, but men. And that's why I chose to interview you. We need more guys because when somebody drives up with a piece of furniture, you guys are there to help.
Yeah, we'd love to take furniture. We just don't have the manpower or the space. But we have a new ministry in town, Waymaker Ministries, that are taking the furniture and able to give that back to people in need.
What do you see as the biggest need here?
The biggest need here is some volunteers, and we've received some grants. We're doing some renovations here to bring our building up to code, and we're excited about that.
It just amazes me, Philip, that you operate this building with no money. The city doesn't give money.
No,
this is not a United Way agency. You guys operate solely on donations?
Donations and what we make on the boutique and our little sale on the store. Our bags sell on Thursday.
And so I hope that others will step forward and become a volunteer for Associated Charities and join the wonderful, happy family here.
Diane, what I love about this organization, everybody's here is 100% volunteer.
It's all about heart, isn't it?
It's all about heart and giving back.
And here in the month of December, what about heart? That's what it's all about, giving.
Giving.
Thank you so much, Philip Armstrong.
Thank you for having us.
God bless all of you. Right after this break, the real meaning of Christmas, featuring seashells.
When you're seriously injured, where should you turn? Turn to a law firm that has deep roots fighting for members of our community.
McGuire Law Firm is here. The same familiar faces you see on TV or around town are actually the same faces you'll see when you walk into our office.
We're here. We're here.
And we're here. And when the time comes, we'll fight for you every step of the way.
McGuire Law Firm, in your community, fighting for you.
The Shepherd's Table of Conway. We are volunteers from churches, civic clubs, and businesses, providing a free meal each weekday from 4:30 until 6 p.m. for those in need of fellowship and love. The homeless, the hungry, or someone who's tired of eating alone. No questions asked. Come join our family. We need volunteers, food, fundraisers, and donations. It's the Shepherd's Table, 1412A, Gamecock Avenue in Conway, sharing God's love one meal at a time. Look who I found at the Litchfield Farmers Market. Why, everybody from Myrtle Beach knows Donna Tyson, because for years she had Red Bow Gallery and Restaurant, and it was adorable downtown Myrtle Beach. So she's still going strong, though, and you're doing Seashore Nativities.
Found something that I loved and was able to share it again. So.
Well, I love this because it has a beautiful Christian theme, of course, Nativities, and I know how your heart is and where your spirit is.
Yeah. Yes, it is. You know, after I left the Red Bow, I went to Virginia to be a grandma, and then I left there and went to Haiti and lived in Haiti as a missionary for a year. Came back and had breast cancer, and 6-year survivor on that, so my life has slowed down some. And so we made handmade gifts during that time and made one of the nativities as a gift, and the person that had it loved it. Somebody else saw it and said, "Oh, will you make me one?" And then it turned into this, and so we love it. We just love it.
You have a partner in crime. Tell me about Becky.
Becky Bogart. She's retired from Coastal Carolina University. She was in charge of the housing there, and Becky can do anything. And so she creates the creches from scratch, cuts it out, sands it, paints it, makes it all up. And then I get to take oyster shells and match them and go, "Oh, this is Mary, this is Joseph, this is a wise man."
You know, I first thought, oh, come on, shells looking like Mary and Joseph. But the more I look like, I can see. The more I look at them, you can see Mary, you can see Joseph, you can even see the baby Jesus in some of these shells.
I love it. I sit at, while Becky's making the creches, I take figures and match the insides and their faces. I have a whole bin that I go, these are Mary's, these are Joseph's. Then they have to look like they're going to be together, and we love it. And then the baby Jesus is an olive shell. They're the state olive shell, so we have great fun with it, and it's a blessing for us. In the middle of all the craziness in the world, we get to make nativities. And as people come up, we get to watch them smile, we get to watch them hold their heart, and we love it.
Well, I saw the grass on the top, and then some look like they have Spanish moss. How do you get rid of the critters?
These are all cleaned. We buy them already cleaned like this.
We don't want to take home a nativity and get red bugs.
No. And the stars, we originally used starfish that we found, but we couldn't get the scent out of it for cats. And so now we buy these that are already purified and put on. So if you have a cat, you buy the ones that are in the dome or in the lanterns, and then the cats can't get to them. So it works out great.
What a neat idea. And what's really creative, too, is that the wise men are bearing real gifts.
Absolutely. And all the shepherds have shells that look like cloaks. And then they also have their staff with them. And so we try to make it as real as possible.
I love this. And even though I found Donna at the Litchfield Farmers Market, it's not going on during the month of December. It will resume in the spring, however, and that's here at the Litchfield by the Sea area. However, Donna is going to be busy in December because where are you all this month?
Every Saturday, we are at the holiday market that Waccamaw Cooperative puts on in Valor Park. So we're there every Saturday. Come by. We would love to share a Seashore Nativity with you.
And that's Market Common every Saturday. Don't miss it. Seashore Nativity. Donna, this is fabulous. One more thing. When people were walking off with their gifts, you gave them a little blessing rock.
We did. We buy the little rocks and we paint angels on them. And when a child stops or anyone that touches their heart, we say, "Let us give you something to bless you, an angel in your pocket." So
it's a feel-good booth. Don't miss Donna and Becky with Seashore Nativity over at the Market Common every single Saturday in December. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Christmas.
Next, our Inside Out cameras ask the question, what is your oddest holiday tradition?
Honey, I think I'll adjust the thermostat. It's getting a little cool.
Mom, you don't have to get up to do that. I've installed the HTC Connected Home app on your phone. See, you can adjust the temperature from anywhere. Okay, Mom, I've got to go. Thanks for house sitting. Make sure to lock the door and set the alarm.
No problem. I have everything I need right here.
HTC self-install kit, $0 with 36-month monitoring commitment.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
Lots of letters for Santa. Yes, we're here in downtown Conway, where it's always important to remember to shop local always. And I wandered the streets and I asked this question: what is your craziest holiday tradition?
The funniest elf game.
What kind of game is that?
Elf, E-L-F, and the winner gets a nice hat, an elf hat.
Special is probably our cooking. How we make smelts and all the fish for the holidays.
Smelt, tell us about smelt.
The smelt is a little fish, and it's very hard to find down here. The place I found it was Publix.
Where do they swim?
In the ocean.
I can't pick on one thing that we do that probably no other family does.
Everybody makes it. It has to be homemade.
And what's been some of the unusual things people have made?
Sawhorses.
What?
Well, my husband was a carpenter, and his brother made him sawhorses and painted them and got them all kind of cool.
Some of them have made like ships, with the strings and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it has to be made. So whatever it is, they paint ceramics. They make the ceramics, paint the ceramics, all that kind of stuff.
We all kiss baby Jesus at 12 o'clock. The youngest one carries a little baby Jesus like this big, and everybody kisses it on Christmas.
I love that. What is your favorite of all your decorations?
My nativity set. I was carried on from my parents, and now I have it. So that's my most prized possession, and that's where baby Jesus comes from.
Well, we make the 7 fishes every year, so I make that. Plus I make the eel, actual live eel, and we make that for the Italian Christmas Eve dinner.
He's live while you're eating them?
No, you got to cook them, but one year my mom cooked them and it came out of the pot.
We eat halushki and pierogies, 3 different kind, and we wash our hands with money to bring prosperity for the new coming year. And because there's so many kids and grandkids, now we just exchange on Christmas Eve, because we've always exchanged on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas we just eat a lot.
Turkey dressing, cakes, stuff like that. Please don't film me.
Aren't you having fun with me? Ask your coworker on the phone, what is her craziest holiday tradition?
What's your craziest holiday tradition?
When I put my pajamas on, they stay on. I wear them even full Christmas Day. So now everybody that we eat dinner with at my brother's house all comes in pajamas.
I love this! Pajamas! Thank you so much. What about you? What is your craziest holiday tradition?
I live with that one.
And he says you do lots of Christmas decorations?
We absolutely do. We go all out.
And how about food?
Eat way too much.
Case dismissed. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Christmas Eve, same thing, except just the food is different. Tradition is a little bit different. We have piñatas, just traditional food that we would have in Mexico.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
We have oyster roast on Christmas Eve night and have friends over. We have a lot of fun.
I love it, but what's a hiroshi?
Halushki is based...
Say it again.
Halushki.
Halushki.
Not to get confused with the hortka. We don't eat hortka because we don't eat meat on Christmas Eve dinner. So it's basically you saute your cabbage and then you put noodles with it and you just season it up. There's a lot of butter in it. But that's traditional.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, and we also have to have sour mushroom soup. And what else we have? Oh, we have shrimp and French fries because my brother and I were children. We hated the soup and we were starving. Oh, we also have to have babalkis.
I think I asked the right person.
So anyway, my brother and I would starve. So my mother decided, even though my mother hated seafood at the time, she would make us shrimp and French fries, which made my dad very happy too.
I love it. And what nationality is this? Tell us about it.
Czechoslovakian.
Uh-huh.
She knows more about it than that.
And what is your favorite out of all of those that she mentioned?
Halushki.
Yeah, can't have enough halushki.
Halushki to you and to yours.
Ah, thank you, thank you. Merry Christmas in advance.
Thank you, dear.
So we make the 7 fishes every, I think it's 7, I don't even count, let's see. Calamari, baked clam, shrimp, lobster tails. Yeah, 3 different types of pasta. So.
And what kind of sauce is in that pasta?
So one pasta is called an alige. It's anchovies with garlic, oil, and breadcrumbs. And then the other one is with calamari, as I'm sure you say down here. And then another one's for people that don't eat fish, just a regular tomato sauce.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm making me hungry too. I'm on a diet. I haven't eaten for 5 days. So and then we make baked clams, raw clams, fried shrimp, raw, what do you call it? Shrimp cocktail, lobster tails, fillet of fish, and then the eel. Bacala salad, if you like that. I don't know if you like that, but.
Save me a seat.
I will. All right? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right?
Finally, a chef prepares her favorite feast for Christmas. Don't go away.
As fellow community members, HTC believes in helping friends and neighbors protect what matters most. With integrated home technology, I can control my home and security system from my smartphone. HTC Security makes my job easier and keeps my world running smoothly. No matter where the day takes me, HTC brings reliable, world-class security right here to Horry and Georgetown counties because you are here, and so are we.
Upgrade your security with a video doorbell from HTC.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Hopefully y'all are ready for a holiday meal because it's going to be spectacular. Compliments of Horry Georgetown Technical College's Culinary Institute. This, my friend, is Chef Catherine Medrano, and she's been here a little over a year, and she's in charge of the Fowler Dining Room. And how can our locals eat at the Fowler Dining Room? Because it's always wonderful.
Go online and make a reservation.
Because you stay booked.
Yes, you definitely want to plan ahead.
And are y'all just serving lunch or dinner there?
Right now we're serving lunch. It's Monday through Thursday. Reservations start at 11:30. They're usually finished by 1:30.
And are you going through the whole month of December?
We'll go right up to December 10th.
So after December 10th, we can't really book again till January.
Right, and then it'll be evenings. We will no longer be doing lunches. We'll move into evenings.
I got to get on that list. So we're going to make a lamb dinner because you tell me that you grew up in an Irish household.
I sure did. So we ate leg of lamb for holidays all of the time growing up. So I thought it would be a nice kind of nostalgic way to do the interview.
So tell me about lamb. I've never cooked lamb, but my grandmother used to cook it for our Christmas dinner, and I loved it.
So this leg of lamb, what we did is we cut holes with a knife. We just stuck it right in there, and then we put the garlic right into the hole. You can see we did it here and here, and it seasons the meat, flavors the meat. You know, lamb has tons and tons and tons of flavor. Okay, so then we oil the entire outside of it, and we put it over what we call a mirepoix: onions, celery, carrot, and garlic. And I also, if you can look, you can see there's a little bit of rosemary here too. Rosemary always goes very well with lamb. We're going to season it with a little salt and pepper, if you don't mind.
And as you do that, I remember right as we were preparing, you cut off a bunch of fat. What was that all about?
That's called the fell. That's a great question.
Fell?
F-E-L-L. The fell is a layer on the outside of a leg of lamb. It's not fat, actually. It's more like
a skin membrane.
Yes,
it looked like.
Exactly, that's what it's like. And we cut it off because that fell tends to add an even more gaminess to the lamb, and we don't want it to be that gamey. Lamb is already on its own quite gamey, so we're gonna negate that just a little bit by taking that fell off the outside. It also doesn't chew very well. So, okay, so we're gonna put this in the oven.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
And I want everyone to know that we're going to make all the accompaniments too, like the best mashed potatoes in the world and some fancy Brussels sprouts.
Okay. So here's the Brussels sprouts next. We're going to get our pan right over here, turn it on, get it nice and smoking hot. So
I actually made a really great Brussels sprout recipe one time just by putting them in the oven with a little olive oil and sprinkling them with maple syrup. Delicious Brussels sprouts.
Sure.
Now everybody likes them, right?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to get it nice and hot. And tell us what you've done to the sprouts.
Okay, so this is what a Brussels sprout looks like. You know, out of the, well, not quite out of the ground, but I take them and I cut the core out of the center of them, you know? Just cut that core right out.
And then it looks
I
like you, peel
break them up, just like this.
Yeah, I've never cooked them on top of the stove.
And then we break them up into leaves, and then we have these, the leaves of the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so you really just want your saute pan really hot, nice rippling effect in there, so that it sizzles whenever the Brussels sprouts get in there. And all we're really going to do is get a little bit of color on them and let them cook. So we're just going to start with a little bit of Brussels sprouts and sprinkle them right in there, and you can hear. Now, you don't want it so smoking that they pop out like popcorn. You know?
Right.
You know,
or get you in the eye.
Right. But we do, and you don't want to put so much in that it boils rather than gets color to it. We go with a light amount of oil. You smell
it smells
them
good.
Amazing already. We're going to season it just a little bit, salt and pepper. And we want it to really kick up and get some color to it. So we're not going to disturb it for a second. That noise is the right noise. That's what you want to hear.
They're singing.
Yes. That smoke is what you want to see, so that whenever we do toss it, you can see the color come right. You can see the color in the leaves.
So you're going to flip it like an omelet. Oh, yeah.
And there we have it started. Here's your color.
Looking good. And smelling great.
Okay, so we're going to push this off to the side and we'll move on to the mashed potatoes. We're going to let this cook a little bit more over here.
Now, I mean, if anyone asked me what my last meal should be, it would either be chocolate or mashed potatoes. I was always called the mashed potato queen as a child, and I still have that mashed potatoes flesh on my thighs, yes, but I love mashed potatoes. So you tell me this is a really fancy, delicious recipe.
Right. This is in the style of Joel Robuchon, who is a French chef who's very well known for his mashed potato recipe. These are Yukon Gold mashed potatoes. I cook them in the skin. He would take them out of the skin. We're going to leave them in the skin. We're going to put them through the ricer and dry them just a little bit. So that's the point we're at right now.
Now, my grandmother always said that the vitamins were in the skin and that we should never do away with the skin.
Which is one of the reasons why I really like it. I find that the skin, is, you know, it is very nourishing. I like it a lot, so I leave it.
Now, I don't have a ricer. Can I do this with a blender or a mixer or by hand?
The old mixers that we used with the... you know, for cake mixes when we were younger, those would work. A blender you don't want to do. Even a potato masher you don't want to do. The starchiness of potatoes and blenders, it doesn't work very well together.
But the hand mixer's okay?
Yes, the hand mixer works well. So in Joel Robuchon's recipe, there's lots and lots of butter and very little cream.
I love cream, but I love butter better.
So we're going to add some whole butter to the recipe.
Never margarine, friends. There's no nourishment in margarine, right, Catherine? And being Irish, you got to use Irish butter.
Yeah, I would never. Okay, so lots and lots of butter, and then we just mix and mix and mix and mix and mix.
And good butter's worth paying for, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and there's so much here in South Carolina. There's so much good butter. So we're going to let this emulsify into the potatoes. We're not going to let it melt.
So in other words, you say not melted. You don't melt it first and then put it in. You put it in hard.
Yes.
And then just
the heat of the potatoes.
That's what emulsifying is.
Yes.
The heat of the potatoes melts the butter.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And you see how they almost look a little bit starchy in there? That's a Joel Robuchon potato. That's what he's known for, is that starchy looking potato.
And if you put cream in it, then it would be looser and it would be not a Joel potato. Right?
Right. Look at that. You smell it?
Yes.
I use the Yukon Gold potatoes.
Oh, I always use them. I think they're the best.
They are. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little butter in the Brussels sprouts, and we're going to have dinner.
And you're going to let me taste this.
Oh, definitely.
Now tell me, what is your most popular meal over at the Fowler? Let's say lunch. What's your most popular lunch? What does the public seem to love?
They really love the fresh fish. It gets served with it's a shrimp and grit ball. The menu, the recipe was developed by a student in this school. It's out of this world. It pairs really, really well with the barbecue vinaigrette that we put on. So we make a barbecue vinaigrette every day. And the vegetables, let's see, it is South Carolina collard greens.
Yeah.
And pickled vegetables that we make ourselves.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Anything like that.
Oh,
So, you ready?
Oh, yes. I'm ready to taste it because I love mashed potatoes. They're expecting me to say delicious. I'm going to say better than delicious, scrumptious. You can really taste the butter.
Sure.
Oh my goodness, absolutely wonderful. Now tell me something. I know that when people go ahead and carve lamb, there's important things to know about carving it.
Yes. So one of the most important things that you want to do with a leg of lamb when you're carving it is you want that bone to stay intact. You want to be able to pick up the leg of lamb and hold it by the bone that's sticking out. And then you want to start on the right side, on the carver's right side, and you want to slice thinly down parallel to the bone.
Wow.
Straight down, thin slices. I think that's probably one of the biggest mistakes we make here in the States, but straight down. When you finish this side and you've gotten all the way to the bone, you turn it over and you do the same exact thing on the other side. When it's all done, then you move to the sirloin, which is on the top.
Boy, that is a good lesson. I would have never known that. Well, we're going to plate it up, but before we do, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating. I hope the season will be truly blessed. And from all of us at Horry Georgetown Technical College's International Culinary Institute of Myrtle Beach and HTC, have a wonderful holiday season and be creative in the kitchen, right? Make it a new year of new recipes and be brave, right?
Absolutely.
You got it.
Be
Thank
brave.
you, Catherine. Let's eat some more mashed potatoes. I'm going to try another spoonful.
Did you really like it?
And one more thank you before we say goodbye. I want to give a very special salute to the Art Museum at 3100 South Ocean Boulevard in Myrtle Beach for letting us tape our very first segment with Tamir Company here at their great location. I also want to remind you to visit them Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 4, and maybe holiday hours may change a bit, so don't forget to check their website. Going on right now here at the Art Museum is a great exhibit through December 19th by Chellis Baird. It's called Tethered. And then there's another exhibit here through December 31st by Rainier Yanis. And he actually has some beautiful large paintings around us. Some of them are done with coffee. You don't want to miss it. And of course, visit their beautiful gift shop, one of my favorite places to shop in all of the area. I hope your holiday season will be a blessed one. And yes, I'll see you next year in 2022 for more Inside Out.
Inside Out is presented by HTC. This is life. Connect with it. And Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food where Mama eats. Along with the McGuire Law Firm. Be kind today and tomorrow.